Scorpio. How are we today? Just doing our weekly reading. This week we are looking at the month ahead, so March 2024. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I do really appreciate that. Every single like, comment, and subscribe really does help the channel grow. Everyone that does leave a comment will go in the draw for that free personal reading. I'll be drawing that when we hit 222. So make sure you're commenting if you want a chance to win. But we are using this week, we have the Oracle of the Shapeshifters. That's a Lucy Cavendish deck. I have the Pixel Occult version of Lenormand, which is the red hand Lenormand there. I also am using the True Love Oracle and the Angel Answers Oracle as well. Okay, so getting into that for you, Scorpio, splitting March up into start, middle, and end. We're going to grab an oracle overview and work from there, delve into that a little bit with the Lenormand. Okay, Scorpio. Scorpio for March, start, middle, and end of March for Scorpio. What is going on for our Scorpios in March? Okay, so firstly we have the Black Cat for the start of March here. So coming into March in a bit of a rougher kind of energy here. It does talk about lost magic, atonement, and rebalance. Okay, so there is a need for you to be rebalancing yourself during March, especially, it's going to come through a little bit heavier for you during the start of March. This, with the black cat energy, I'm just getting that I'm getting told that if a black cat crosses your path, it's bad luck. So you're kind of entering into March feeling like you have bad luck, Scorpio. You kind of just got this energy going on of like, oh, everything keeps going wrong. What's with my luck? My luck is just shot at the start of March, just feeling as though you're in a really unlucky kind of phase of your life, which, that's probably why we're seeing, the atonement and the rebalancing yourself. So needing to kind of center yourself all over again. I do feel that with the atonement, there's some of you that are kind of feeling like, oh, I everything's going wrong for me because of I did this or this. You're feeling like, I'm getting this energy that you feel like there's some sort of karma playing out during the start of March, and that's why you're having a bad run kind of thing, that, oh, I must be having a bad run because, back when I was a kid, I stole that lolly from the corner shop, or, something like that. You're kind of telling yourself that, oh, I deserve this. This is my karma. I need to atone for my sins. But it's not actually, I don't feel like you're actually having to atone for anything here. I don't feel like this is actually karma. This is more about you just needing to rebalance yourself. Like I'm saying, I don't feel like this is karma for a lot of you, even though it seems like you're kind of telling yourself that this is your karma. So it's a very interesting energy there that, I'm kind of just feeling as though you're just in a mood, Scorpio. It really just feels like that you're just in a bit of a mood, and you're needing to sort of rebalance, recenter yourself, get back to, the real you, who doesn't, it's kind of, because I'm kind of getting this karma thing. It's like you're telling yourself that you deserve a bad run at the moment. You're telling yourself that you deserve to be in a shit mood and all this stuff, but I don't feel that is true. You're kind of self-affirming negative for yourself here. I feel like that's why it's kind of needing to rebalance so much. The person you need to atone to is yourself. All right, you're needing to find atonement to yourself, like say sorry to yourself for putting yourself in this mindset where, oh, I deserve this, because you don't. Okay, the middle of March, we are seeing the fairy bee which that one says, my life is sweet. So it does look like you do find your balance here in the middle of March, and you start to, I feel like for a lot of you, finding your balance in gratitude, finding the sweet moments in your life, and stop being salty. Like, whoever that is, stop being so salty. You know it. You know it. You know it. Okay. It's just one of you. I could just feel that. But it's because right when I said my life is sweet, you said, no, it's not. I'm salty as, like a salty AF, I heard. Um, but yeah, there's reasons to, be happy. There's reasons to buzz around and be happy. And you're finding those in the middle of the month here, realizing that there is more sweetness in your life than you sort of have been giving yourself credit for. But it's that gratitude energy coming through, as realizing that you do have a lot of things to be grateful for. Even when you've had a few bad days, that you still realize that, hang on, life is actually pretty sweet. I'm here. I have a roof over my head. Even if you feel as though it's unstable, like I do feel that there may be someone who does feel a bit unstable with certain things like that. But even if you don't have a roof over your head, it's kind of that energy of, there's, at least it's not pouring rain, or at least it's not snowing. And, if I'm out on the street, at least it's not snowing. It's kind of that kind of energy coming through there. But I'm not feeling as though that's a lot of you at all. But we also have the end of March. We have Snow White and her animal friends. Okay, you inspire trust and confidence. All right, so that's feeling like you're impacting somebody in a really big way at the end of March. I'm very interested to see what comes out when we delve into that one, because that feels as though that's your influence on somebody else. So needing to rebalance yourself, because at the end of the month, you really are, someone's going to be looking up to you quite a lot and needing your strength here, Scorpio. So it's definitely needing to rebalance at the start of March here. Maybe that's how you're inspiring this person, by showing them, you can have a few bad days, but you can recenter yourself and get back to, being grateful for what you're given, no matter how big or small those things are. And that is actually inspiring a lot of trust and confidence in you. And you're really inspiring somebody with the way that you're able to rebalance and recenter yourself here. Okay, Scorpio. Start of March energy for Scorpio with the black cat, please. Just clarify that, please. Just clarify that for Scorpio. Okay, and the fairy bee, the middle of March energy for Scorpio. I'll just pull out all the lenormand so we can move through in that time progression. Okay, Scorpio, middle of March, the fairy bee. Okay, and Snow White and her animal friends. The end of March for Scorpio. Okay, so for that black cat energy, the rebalancing energy, we do see you starting off here with that bear energy. So it kind of feels like you're a little bit defensive. You like I sort of said, you're feeling as though you're on the defense at the moment with everything's going wrong. But there's this energy of realizing that, you're bringing that to yourself. You're trying to protect your energy here, but it's actually crossed over the line a little bit into, you're getting so defensive and that it's your boundaries are going up too high here, and that you're pushing things away a little bit. You're no longer just protective and nurturing. You're actually getting a bit defensive and not letting anyone get close enough to you. So you are just needing to once again rebalance and get rid of that negative aspect of that it's okay to have boundaries, but sometimes once it crosses the line into being defensive and having walls up, that's a different sort of thing altogether to just boundaries. So I feel as though it's just kind of feeling like someone just like you just need to get that sort of reality check and hear that, and makes you realize that, oh yeah, I'm just being a bit and then moving on with your life, and going back down to just protecting yourself and setting stable boundaries rather than raising those fences too high there. So I do feel as though it's just something where it's just like you're just gonna check yourself at the start of March here and just go, hang on, Scorpio, what are you doing? Bonk. And then you're kind of rebalancing yourself just by doing that. We have the ship coming through here. The ship is all about travel. So it's very interesting though, because I do have the coffin coming through after that. So it's kind of actually the opposite of what it normally would be, because this is about travel, closing distances, starting new adventures. But it's kind of with the coffin there, it's kind of ending an adventure, ending a phase of traveling. So I do feel as though for some of you, maybe that's why you're in that bad mood, because you're like, that's it, I've put up my, like some of you, it might be like I pushed away my opportunity to travel or something like that. But I do feel like it's something needing to end when it comes to this ship energy. It's kind of like that like I'm kind of getting that it was like it's like it was an adventure, and it was like, but it was like really rough seas, and that's why you're like needing to end that, because that's not like that the journey is not taking you where you need to go. Like it's kind of like you got on this ship a while ago where you're like, okay, let's set sail for Africa. But now that you're on the ship and you're kind of like, this ship is actually taking me to Greece. I don't need to go to Greece. I wanted to go to Africa. So I'm not actually on the right journey here. I need to, get off that ship and start over, because the coffin really does talk about endings bringing new beginnings. So it's kind of like if you're on a certain, it's some sort of journey or adventure that you have been on, and you're realizing, no, I'm not going to keep going that way. I want to go this other way. So for some of you, it definitely may just be that negative self-talk journey that you've been on within yourself, and you're kind of like, no, this is not leading me to anywhere good. This is making me have these bad days and making me feel like ish. I'm gonna get off that ship, and I'm gonna close the lid on that behavior with myself. Like I said, I'm just getting that snap where you're going, that's it, bang, close that coffin lid on that, and we're gonna try again. We're gonna have a brand new beginning here. And the new beginning here, we do have the beetle clarifying that as well. So the beetle does talk about getting along with things, teamwork. It's very much the card of teamwork, and getting all of yourself on board with things rather than just allowing yourself to sit in that negative energy, and harden that exterior with that bear energy we saw, where you've kind of got that hardened beetle exterior. You're now kind of going, no, do you know what? I want to actually let my wings out, those soft, fragile parts of me. I want to try again. I want to start this journey to the right place, and I want to have a brand new beginning to the right place. That coffin is all about that death and rebirth, whereas you're killing off the beetle that couldn't work well with others, and you're now kind of going, no, do you know what, it's okay to have my hard exterior, but I still have these beautiful soft wings that allow me to fly, and it's time for me to actually use them and stop holding myself away from others a little bit here. very interesting energy for you this month, Scorpio. With that fairy bee energy, the middle of the month, my life is sweet. It's kind of like you're getting to that point where you pulled yourself in, you've checked yourself, and then you're getting to this point where you're starting to really have gratitude for the things around you, and it really actually works out for you because rebalancing yourself actually is going to help you get through March. All right, because otherwise, if you didn't do that at the start of March, this next energy may trip you up. But with that fairy bee energy, it's kind of like, no, it's not going to trip you up, because what we have here now, we have the snake, and that's come through with the goat right there in the middle, the goat being the key to that. And then we have the whip. Okay, so on either side of this goat energy, we see, I kind of feel like for some of you, this is you trying to deceive yourself a little bit here with that. Go back to this energy you were in before, where there's a temptation there to fall back into that old energy where, oh, bad things are going to happen, I'm going to attract more bad, but you're kind of realizing, no, that if I do that, that's me deceiving myself. And then we see conflict and trouble and tension and drama with the whip here as well. But with the goat in the middle, the goat is very rebellious. It butts heads with this energy, and it kind of says, bang, no, I'm not going to deceive myself. I'm not going to follow temptation and allow myself to re-enter into, conflict and trouble. I don't want that. I want this sweetness. I want, I want to be grateful for the good things in my life. I don't want to focus on the bad things in my life. I don't want to allow that into my life. So this goat energy, it's kind of, that's it. No, I don't want this. I don't want this, and pushing it out of your life altogether. Anything that's sort of, especially with that coffin in the initial, where you're, closing the door on things that no longer serve your highest good and being reborn into this more positive version of yourself, where you are like, that's it. I'm not going to put up with that. Like, I'm rebelling against conflict. I'm rebelling against deception. I don't want that in my life. Whether it's self-deception or someone else trying to deceive me, whether this is conflict within my own self, or whether this is people trying to drag me into their conflict and drama, I don't want that. I'm this goat now. I'm gonna butt that out of my life altogether. The goat is a very strong, rebellious energy, and it overcomes that sort of negative energy there. So it's kind of like, yeah, you kind of like, nah, my life is sweet. I don't want that ish in my life. Bang, out the door with you. So that's actually a really positive thing for you here. But like I said, you wouldn't get to that point if you didn't address it at the start of the month. If you didn't, head check yourself and be like, what are you doing, Scorpio? Get out of this negative mindset. This is what you're doing with that goat as well. You're like, that's it. I'm going to close the door on these journeys that aren't taking me to where I want to go, and it's really puts you into this perfect mindset for yourself here, where we do sort of flow through into that Snow White and her animal friends. You inspire trust and confidence. I feel like for a lot of you, that's actually trust and confidence in yourself, starting to inspire your own trust and confidence in yourself, because you've, this goat energy is so strong for you here, Scorpio, that, it's really giving you this trust and confidence that, you know what, I can rebel against that stuff that I don't want. And it works out for me. Life becomes sweet, and, I'm going to keep rebelling against all that stuff because, I've got this confidence now that, and goats themselves too are very they're very confident in what, they're like, I'm a goat. I can do whatever I want. I can climb on anything I want. I can eat anything I want. If anyone that spent time with goats, they are like machines. They have the confidence of, 20 men. They're very, very confident animals. They they really will. They'll eat anything and they'll be like, I'll be fine. And they'll climb on anything and they'll be like, I'll be fine. You can even look up on YouTube the goats climbing stuff, and some of the stuff you can see goats climbing, it's like ridiculous. You're like, how did that animal get up there? Like, I've seen goats like on these tiny little branches in the top of a tree, and it's like, why? What? they're like, I want to get up to the top of that tree, so I'm up there. Like, they can do it. There's a lot of determination with the goat energy as well. So it's really strong energy for you. I really like it for you, actually, Scorpio. It's rebel against the negative this month. It's going to be really strong for you to be rebelling against any conflict, trouble, tension, even whether it's within yourself or externally. You just kick that out of your life. All right. Then we do see the feminine, the heart, and the clouds. Okay, so this is actually quite an interesting message because, the feminine and the heart do sort of sit on one side of the table, and then the clouds sits on another, because the heart and the feminine are both very emotional, coming from, a very loving space, a very emotionally driven space, whereas the clouds is all about your thoughts, your logic, your rational sides, but it's kind of telling us that I feel like this is letting us know, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it, because the clouds, there is this tendency to overthink things. And when you do start to overthink things, that leads you to anxiety and depression and back to this negative self-talk and, clouded judgment, where you're making decisions where you're not actually following your heart. Whereas it's coming through very strongly here, trust and be confident in the decisions that your heart is making, that your emotions are telling you to make here. Especially, I feel like for a lot of you, this is actually talking specifically about romantic love as well, especially with that feminine there, that, nurturing the loving aspects of yourself and nurturing love in your life, okay? Not allowing your intrusive thoughts to take over when it comes to love especially. I do feel that for majority of you, that is actually specific to love. But we'll have a look at romantic love specifically here now with these oracles, because on the bottom of the deck as the hidden energy, I have the astral card. So it does show me that there's somebody that you are connecting to on an astral level here. So it doesn't really matter whether this person, you have a connection with this person in reality already or not, because we're seeing that astral card there. The connection is more important in the 5D, and you are connected to somebody romantically already. Even if you think that you're totally single here, there is a connection there. But we'll have a look here. Scorpio, romantic love for Scorpio during March, please. Whoa, that's like half the deck trying to jump at me. That busy. Okay, Scorpio, March for Scorpio. Okay, and Scorpio, romantic love for Scorpio in March. We're seeing forgiveness, okay? That's about forgiving yourself. That's forgiveness for yourself, okay? Especially when that atonement, that's the same message, atonement and rebalancing yourself, saying sorry to yourself for, treating yourself badly and allowing the negative self-talk to overpower you here. It does say on that card, you can see the little banners here surrounding her. It does say, I forgive myself, I am forgiven. So forgiving yourself, okay? So that's more important for you at the moment, than, because like I said, that connection, it feels like it's more important on the astral level at the moment rather than in reality for you here, Scorpio. So I feel as though there's the need for you to focus a little bit more on yourself and forgiveness for yourself, and really evening out that divine masculine, because, we did see the feminine and the heart and then the clouds here as well. So this kind of is just letting me know, I feel that for some of you, this is, some of you, you're meeting a divine masculine straight up, but for those of you who date masculine energy, even if you don't date masculine, because everyone has masculine and feminine, but this is you following your heart. This is you sort of controlling the masculine elements within yourself and making sure that you're coming from a divine masculine element, rather than, the unevolved or distorted masculine elements. So the distorted masculine elements are kind of like chaos and war and that negative self-talk and having to control your emotions, where you can't have emotions, you unfeeling, I have no emotions. Whereas, the divine masculine is in touch with their emotions, and knows that the divine feminine within them will allow them to explore those emotions and nurture those emotions in a healthy way. They control the chaos. They don't allow the emotions to take over, but they still have them and address them and whatnot as well. It's a very strong, powerful energy. And it's kind of, I feel like for a lot of you here, it's getting in touch with your divine masculine and making sure that, you're tempering the masculine within you with that emotional coming from the heart, following your heart sort of stuff as well. But I am hearing clearly that there's one or two of you that you're meeting a divine masculine person. This is outside of yourself, that someone is really embracing their divine masculine, and you're sort of connecting strongly with this person who is the divine masculine energy. Okay, so if you are the feminine energy in connections, you are definitely meeting a divine masculine counterpart this month. Okay, or you are connected to a divine masculine counterpart this month. So regardless of whether you are in a connection, or whether this is that 5D connection, the astral connection I was picking up on there. But I do feel as though for majority of you, we're not seeing big changes in love until the next month, April, or the very end of the very end of March, where we see your, following your heart here and starting to focus back in on love, moving into April. But then we do have big happy changes and success. Okay, so keep on keeping on. You're going to definitely get to where you want to be with love in the near future. But like I said, it feels as though, that's coming through later in the month, or the month after as well. So at the moment, it's all about, headbutting all that negative energy out of your life, and fighting against having any tension or trouble or deception in your life, in your headspace. This month here, Scorpio. But that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check your other placements. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment to go in the competition, and hopefully I'll see you all soon.